Fear kills creativity. Panic smothers all of the creative juices that you have inside of you that help you weather storms like what are happening today in small businesses with the coronavirus pandemic that is happening right here on our home turf in the US. And I work with small business owners all day, every day, and I know just how crippling panic and fear can be. But the one thing that you have to remember is that panic and fear kill the very creativity that you need right now to be able to make good decisions for your business and not to function from a place of terrified fear and anxiety about the future. So I wanted to take a few minutes today to share with you a few of the simple tactics that are going to be really essential for you to weather the storm that's still here and that might be hanging around for the next couple months. Just as you thought things were about to get good and season was about to hit and you're about to start making lots of money again, things have probably taken a big pump of the brakes in your business. And it can be scary when we look forward, but let's do something today to help to wrangle that fear in a little bit and to create a plan of action so that you know the steps you're going to take before you get in a position of being forced to take them. So the first thing that I want to share with you is when you get scared, when you get lost, stop. Take a time out. In sports, whenever things get really, really heated, the ref will call a timeout. Just stepping away, or the coach will call a timeout. Just stepping away from the argument, stepping away from the heated emotions gives you a chance for your adrenaline to take a step down, which unleashes your ability to think strategically and creatively. Our businesses are absolutely no different. In this moment, you might feel lost in fear, you might feel anxious, you might be doing all right, but worry about what's going to happen if your city goes into quarantine or if people stop letting you into their homes or what to do when they already have. So the first thing is when you get lost, stop. And in this moment, I'm saying that the feeling of fear and anxiety is a way of being lost in your business. So I just want you to take a beat. Let your emotions subside a little bit. Get conscious about how you're reacting to all of the fear around you. When you walk into the grocery store and you see all these essentials, eggs and milk and flour gone off the shelves, don't let panic take over your business, even if you feel anxious in your personal life. So, first thing is take a beat. Take a breath. Look at your business from a business owner's perspective and don't let the fear that's happening in society drive your decisions. Get clear about where you are in your financial landscape. What is your must-have weekly, monthly revenue in order for you to be okay during what might end up to be a few lean months? What is that do or die number? Is it $5,000 a week, $50,000 a week? What is that number for you? And then we'll take a minute and look at ways to help impact that number. Figure out your weekly number. Look at how much cash you have on hand or cash you have in your savings. Unfortunately, 63% of Americans don't have enough savings to make it through a month of crisis. I hope that your business is not in that same position, but if it is, look at ways that you have to access cash in other ways. Do you have access to a credit line? What do other options look like for you? Because the third thing that you want to look at is trimming expenses. Whenever things get crazy, it's always a good moment to look at where are unnecessary expenditures that I'm spending in my business, that I'm making in my business. Where are things that I've been investing in that just aren't working that you can trim today? Trim it today so you don't get forced to trim it in the future. So that is the first step. Take a time out. Diminish all the fear, anxiety. Take an analytic look at your business and run that analysis to see where are you today? How long can you truly survive something when the brakes are really tapped and you're in a slow cash flow? What does that look like very concretely in your business? Don't just think about it. Write it down. Now, I'm all about using programs. I'm all about using systems, but there is something very human about having a tactile relationship with data. That might sound weird, but think about it. We have 5 senses. And if all we're doing is looking at a computer screen and thinking it through, our other senses are not engaged. grab a pen, grab a paper, grab a pencil, and just write down the critical numbers. Even if you have them on your computer, even if you can pull them up on your dashboards, write them down. Get your whole senses involved so it's a very deliberate and real experience for you. Step 1. Super important. Stop, calibrate. Where are you today? How long can you sustain where you are? What do you need? Right? Super important to stop and calibrate. Once you look at that calibration, we're going to take that final step that I described and look at where we can trim the fat. Where are ways in which your business is unnecessarily expending revenue, expending your cash, using money that is not helping your business? Super important asterisk here. Super important. Do not, and I repeat, do not cut off your nose to spite your face here. Do not trip over gold blocks to pick up pennies here. It is so important for you not to stop your marketing dollars. If you stop the marketing dollars, when the market comes back, when your consumers are looking for you again, you are going to take so much more time to reclaim what you used to have. Keep your marketing dollars flowing. Find other areas in your business to trim. Remember, in business, it's people, process, and product. The great Marcus Lemonis tells us that all the time. If you watch The Profit on TV, super great show. People, process, and product. If you have no marketing, people are not going to know about your product, and it's going to be much harder for you to regain your footing when people start spending much more abundantly. I'm hoping here just in the short future. So do not cut off your marketing dollars. Find ways that you can trim things in your business. Are there subscriptions that you have that are doing nothing for you? Are you putting money into things that really are not producing results? If you have marketing in your business that's doing nothing for you and you're spending a lot of money for very little result, then of course you can look at that as something to trim. But please, please, please don't suffocate your business by cutting off your marketing dollars. So find areas in your business where you can trim the fat. Maybe if you have a lease renegotiation coming up, or you have different things that you can go back to your vendors and negotiate better terms, they want you to be paying them. They want your business. They don't want to lose you. They don't want to see their clients fold. So if you need to go back and renegotiate terms with people to help you trim some of the expenses and lessen that overhead cost, this is a beautiful moment to do it. Capitalize on what you have available to you and trim that fat. Get lean, because leanness will last you much longer. Stretch those dollars. Step 1, stop, calibrate. Step 2, get lean. Find the places to trim, with a very important caveat, not to trim your marketing dollars. And then step 3, make plans about how to generate more revenue. People always jump to step 3 first. They look at, oh my gosh, I got to make money happen. And so they start all these other things without doing the rest. And so panic or fear is driving the revenue creation. Don't let that be you. That is not going to help you. But now that you've done the calibration, the trimming down, now is the time to look at where can I continue to drive revenue. If your business is all about in-home selling and people are not letting you in their home, maybe it's time to embrace some of the tools of the 21st century. Think about, could you do virtual appointments? Could you run your appointments on a platform like Zoom, or heck, even on FaceTime? Could you do something a little bit more innovative? Yes, you're not going to be there, but their video is pretty darn good, right? Could you send, if there's a lot of measurements, could you send your customers a laser tool and teach them how to use it? Make them pay a deposit that covers it, and then they send it back to you, or they drop it back at your office. There are lots of ways for you to leverage modern technology to help you drive business even now if people are anxious about having you come to their homes. Think of ways you can drive revenue. Think of ways of incentivizing. If you really need cash to flow, incentivize the cash to flow. Create some really good promotions, some really good deals, super limited time. Maybe you're sitting on old inventory that you haven't moved in forever. Sell it off. Get it out of your warehouse and into the hands of your clients. Sell things now and book the installation much further out if people are worried about having people come in and out of their homes. You can also look at the huge amount of revenue dollars you have sitting in unsold projects. I would venture to guess that if you've watched this video this far, you have a small business and you have had tens, hundreds, thousands of people in the last 2-3 years who you have gone out to and you have tried to sell and you didn't close the deal? Even if you're closing at 50% close rate and you've done $1 million, $2 million, that means you have $1 million or $2 million in unclosed deals. Get on it. There are so many ways to make money from leads that didn't originally close. And the fact of the matter is 60% of those leads within a year are ready to buy. And just because people are worried about their health does not mean they don't have money. They do. People are still spending, and you want it to be with you. So leverage modern technology, reach in to those innovative ways, those sales, promotions that you can augment and promote right now to get people to say yes. And look at your unsold leads. There's a wealth of business for you. There's a wealth of cash waiting there for you. And you've already gone out to their homes. So you don't even need to go out a second time necessarily to close the deal. So really get creative. But the doorway to that creativity, to unleashing that creativity, is first to stop and assess where you are and get really, really clear. If you need a little bit of support in figuring out where you are and where you need to go and having that plan, I really encourage you to reach out to a peer in business, to reach out to a business coach, reach out to me, schedule some time to talk about your business and to make a plan. It's so much better to decide now what steps you're going to take if things dip below a certain level than to wait for them to dip and then to be stuck again in the fear and anxiety of crisis mode when you have to make the hardest decisions in your business. So make sure that you're stopping, assessing where you are, and not letting the fear and worry that's surrounding you infect your business. It doesn't have to. Take control of your emotional center, take control of your business, and let's weather this together.